What's up everybody, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I wanted to take the time to talk about my favorite point and shoot camera, which is not a Miyoo 2, it's a different Olympus point and shoot. It's an Olympus AF10 TWIN, this guy. It comes in at around 50 bucks, and I got mine for 35 bucks about 3 months ago, and I've been super happy with it, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. And don't you think that just because this camera is a bit on the more cheaper side that it's not capable? I know we all love our expensive camera gear, the Leicas and Mamiyas of the world, but I know that you and me, we both love those stinky little eBay bargains, those cheap $10, $20 point and shoot cameras that punch way above the price class, and this just happens to be one of them. Let's talk about the features on the Olympus AF10 TWIN. I know this guy is a bit of a weird looking camera, and it's a bit bigger for a point and shoot camera, but just look at it, it looks a bit like a spider from the front, to be honest. But the reason for that is because, guys, it has two different lenses, a point and shoot camera with two lenses. It has a primary 35mm f3.5 lens and a secondary telephoto lens, which is a 70mm f6.3. And both of the lenses are generally super sharp. Even the 70 is a sharp lens, and I know they're a bit on the slower aperture side, but for a point and shoot camera it's not a 2.8, it's a 3.5. But as I just said, for a point and shoot camera, I don't really use this for any nighttime or low light photography, and if I do, then I use the flash on this thing, which is super bright. So having a 3.5 aperture is really not a big deal at all. What is a big deal though is that this guy has manual flash control, guys. Manual flash control is something that you don't really see that commonly on these 90s point and shoot cameras. I used to own an Olympus AF1, which is a great point and shoot camera, and it even supports the same optics as the Miyoo 2, the 35 f2.8, which is a super sharp lens, but that camera just had an automatic flash and it would fire during the day, and sometimes I wanted it to fire and it didn't fire, and when I didn't want it to fire then it would fire. So having that control for me is a huge deal. Also, this camera is jam-packed with other features. I've written some of them down. Let me just check. It has a self-timer, auto wind, auto rewind, auto exposure, autofocus, which is super good. And the autofocus, I think in this 20 rows that I shot, I think it might have missed just once or twice. And it has a DX code reader, and again those two lenses, which is a huge deal on this camera. An amazing, outstanding feature. And also this camera takes CR123A batteries, which are lithium-ion batteries, which are still pretty commonly available. You can get them in any drug or electronics store, and they're fairly cheap as well, which is also a big plus. Also, loading film in the camera is that simple. I'll link a video tutorial down below on where you can see how to load the camera. Finally, let's take a closer look at some of the images that I've taken on my AF10 TWIN. I mostly shot Kodak Gold 200 on this camera because it's a more budget-friendly film, which suits the camera as well here where I live in Germany, and honestly it's still one of my favorites. And as you can see, these images are super sharp, and the lens just renders the colors so beautifully, and I'm really happy with how the images look from this camera. And to be honest, I have to say, I primarily shoot with the 35mm lens, but that's not because the telephoto lens is any worse or lacks in quality. It's just because I really love the 35mm focal length. But if the scene demands it, I'm not reluctant at all to use the 70mm because it's just that good as well. And honestly, enough chit chatter about the camera. Let's just take a closer look at the images and see for yourself. It's pretty good, huh? I really love this thing. This thing is so easy, fun, and it's just so practical to use, and it still remains so casual while still delivering those professional results. I've been really happy with the results I've been getting on this camera, and I've barely ever been disappointed by images that this camera has taken. And I have to say, the metering system on this camera is top notch. It always gets the exposure right, and I never have to worry about it. I don't have to think about the camera doing its thing, which is the point of a point and shoot camera. I just point and shoot, and the camera does the rest for me, and this camera does this superbly well. Now, who would I recommend this camera for? And honestly, I think that this camera has a really wide appeal range, and even if you're a beginner or haven't even shot film in your life before, I think this camera would be very suitable for you. I mean, it does everything for you. The exposure is good, the autofocus is good, the autofocus has really never missed for me, and the camera does everything for you. Even the film loading process is semi-automatic, so for someone who's just getting started, it would be a perfect camera because you can keep it along the way. Even if you start to progress in film and you start to become better, this camera won't let you down, and that's why I can even recommend it to professionals as well. I would consider myself a person with quite professional standards, and I'm very happy with the images that this camera delivers. So for 50 bucks, guys, you can't really go wrong. Anyone can buy this camera. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and everything else on my channel. I've been honestly quite blown away with the reception and the support I've been getting after I started to upload on this channel again. I mean, it's been close to 3 years that I haven't uploaded on this channel, and the people are just coming back and new people are coming in, and I've been really blown away with the support basically. And also I've been having the most fun I've ever had doing YouTube. This is my 4th video in 4 weeks, which is kind of groundbreaking for me. I've never managed to upload a video without a year's gap in between, so I'm really happy that I'm dedicated enough to keep going, and I'm having so much fun. So there will be more videos coming in the future. Also, I'm currently working on a big video on the trip that I went to Berlin, where I shot Kodak Vision 3, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, anyways guys, I would be quite interested to know what kind of point-and-shoot cameras you guys use. Definitely leave that in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like as well, and if you loved it, subscribe. We just hit 800 subscribers, which is a big milestone for me, and I know we're still a teeny tiny channel in comparison to other channels, but 800 for me is a huge milestone, and I'm super grateful for that. And really guys, thank you to every single one of you who has subscribed. I hope we can just keep growing together and yeah, build a nice YouTube community. Yeah guys, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.